If you're doing this one thing in dating, you are completely wasting your time. Let's unpack it. Okay, the number one thing that so many women do, and I was guilty of doing in the past, is trying to change a man. Now, I'm sure you've heard this before, and yet, like, we still do it. We do it and we do it and we do it. And, like, I think we do it even when we don't think we're doing it. We do it even in the most subtle ways, whether that's like changing how he dresses, or trying to steer him into a different career, or trying to get him to go along with your plans, or like, oh my gosh, there's just so many ways that we try to do this. And, you know, I think it's kind of rooted in scarcity as one element of it, because if you really felt like you were abundant and that you had a zillion options, which you probably do, you wouldn't be trying to squish somebody into a box. You know, you wouldn't look at them and go like, oh, you're 90% of what I want, so I'm just going to try to tweak the last 10%. Like, you wouldn't do that if you really were like grounded in the idea that you had options. And so scarcity is an element here. But here is the thing, like, so work on that and then accept at the same time that men don't change. Usually the way that they do things is the way that they always do things, and the way that they always will. If a guy is a slacker, he's probably going to continue to be a slacker. If a guy's a hard worker, he's probably going to continue to be a hard worker as long as he can. You know, as long as he like has the energy or the physical capability to. If he's a liar, he's probably going to keep lying. And like, yes, I would love to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'd love to give them infinite opportunities and chances, second chances and third chances. But you know what? We've got to have standards and boundaries, and we have to protect ourselves. And so that means that if you meet somebody and they tell you who they are, you believe them. And that's it. And you either like them the way that they are, or you move on peacefully. If you try to change a man, you will use up a lot of your precious energy, a lot of your precious youth, and you will likely kind of run yourself into the ground beating a dead horse. Maybe that's too many metaphors at the same time. But essentially, you will waste your time and you'll create a lot of conflict and friction in your life, and you really don't need to. You really just need to believe that there is somebody else who's a better match for you, and be brave enough to choose that and move on. So if you're trying to change a man, please, for both his sake and yours, because imagine how painful that would be if someone said, oh, you're almost good enough, let me just change you. You know, what if they said like, let me just like change your hair color, or let me just like get you XYZ surgery and then you'll be good enough for me. Like, or, you know, insert whatever, right? You know, that would feel really bad. I think that would feel really bad. And so do them the favor of just either liking them the way that they are and accepting them, or moving on, and decide what your non-negotiables are. If somebody has everything that you want and the things that you don't like are pretty superficial, then maybe it'd be good to live with them rather than living without this person who's really special. Or if they're really fundamental things that are important to you, then let them go and let them find somebody else who will really love them the way that they are, and save yourself the time and energy of trying to do something that 95% of the time doesn't work. Save yourself. That's all for me today. And I'll see you next time. Bye.